Good morning. My name is Sandra Rana, and I'm going to be going over some preliminary things before the press conference actually begins. I want to thank you all for coming. I really do appreciate, and the Islamic Society appreciates your coming to our press conference. Some orders of business first. Please turn off your cell phones. I know that there are a lot of media here who will be recording, and we want to be sure that there's not some cute little phone jingle going on in the background or a musical interlude, so I would really appreciate if you do that. Also, I would like to introduce in advance the speakers so that you have that information available to you. Tulsa Metropolitan Ministry, who will be represented by the President, Marlon Lavillar. Tulsa Interfaith Alliance, who will be represented by Keith McCarter. Oliver Howard, who will be representing the Oklahoma Conference for Community and Justice. Justice Wadner, who will be representing Say No to Hate. Razi Hashmi, who will be representing the Council on American Islamic Relations. And Allison Moore, who will be representing the Islamic Society of Tulsa. Each one of them will be reading a press statement. At the conclusion of Sister Moore's statement, that will be the end of the press conference. There will be no questions or statements beyond the press statements that will be issued. Thank you very much for your attendance, and again, welcome to our mosque. I understand that some of the sisters will be available to take you on a tour immediately afterwards. This is our Sabbath day, so we will be also getting ready for worship services. So if you'll be mindful of that, we would appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
Diversity is difficult, but it's worth it. One of the greatest gifts that America has offered the world is an example of how people of different religions and ethnicities can live together with respect and dignity and justice for all. As a representative of Tulsa Metropolitan Ministries, I want to acknowledge that I believe Governor Brad Henry showed Oklahomans the appropriate way to handle the situation. He received the gift of the Quran from his Muslim constituents graciously as an offering of goodwill. He recognized it as a gesture of friendship, offered in the spirit of kindness and cooperation. Diversity is difficult, but it's worth it. And it is a defining characteristic of the best of America. Representative Rex Duncan has handled this situation in a way that is disrespectful of his fellow Americans. His comments have promoted religious bigotry against American citizens. At the centennial of our state, we must all tell Rex Duncan that his discriminatory words and his unapologetic bigotry towards his fellow American citizens do not represent our great state or our blessed country. We are one nation under God, indivisible, and we will not be divided by politicians who use religious and ethnic rhetoric to inflame bigotry. I'm honored today to stand with my Oklahoma Muslim neighbors who have proudly stood with this nation in good times and in bad, and who have publicly denounced violence in the name of their religion time and time again. These are people dedicated to peace and justice for all. God bless Oklahoma, and God help our legislators learn what it means to represent America and all her people. Thank you.
Good morning. The members of the Tulsa Interfaith Alliance are deeply concerned about the statements made by an Oklahoma representative and adopted by others regarding the Quran and Islamic beliefs. We are distressed when an entire religion is condemned based on the actions of a few extremists, and we believe most Americans find this unacceptable. Violent extremism has occurred in many different religions throughout history. but such fanaticism does not represent the true spirit of any of the great faith traditions. To suggest otherwise is indeed a form of religious intolerance. It is common courtesy when offered a gift, even if you don't like it or don't want it, merely to say thank you. You do not demean the giver of the gift in a hateful manner. To purposefully condemn and denounce all Oklahomans who are members of one religious body is wrong, whether they are Muslim, Jewish, Christian, or any other religious faith. Unfortunately, hateful words demonstrate an attitude of religious bigotry. We hope all the representatives who rejected their gifts of the Quran will open their minds to the inclusiveness that is vital for a healthy democracy which they are represented to defend and pursue, and become better acquainted with the true tenets of Islam, which are indeed based on brotherhood, love, respect, and human dignity. The mission of the Tulsa Interfaith Alliance is to respect religious diversity and to protect religious and civil liberties from the threat of such religious intolerance. Our purpose here today is to call for religious tolerance and understanding. We implore our community to find affirmative ways to achieve religious inclusiveness and to express concern when they become aware of religiously based misunderstandings. The Interfaith Alliance encourages all people, and especially our elected officials, to treat.
The Tulsa Say No to Hate Coalition stands in solidarity with our neighbors in the Muslim community and decries any misguided rhetoric that stereotypes our fellow citizens and their religious beliefs. Our political leaders represent a state highlighted by great diversity and pluralism. This is one of the many reasons that I am proud to call myself an Oklahoman. To that end, it is our responsibility and that of our leaders to strive for a greater understanding of the many faiths present within our population and to join together to ensure inclusion for all. Our great country was founded on the principle of religious freedom, and we believe we have the right to expect our leaders holding political office to honor all of our world's religions. The gift of the Centennial Quran was a gesture of friendship and goodwill. The response of the representatives who chose not to accept the gift throws a dark shadow of misunderstanding and bigotry on a segment of our state's population and their religious heritage. For almost 20 years, Say No to Hate has embraced the diversity of faiths represented within our city. We have worked to ensure that Tulsa is a community where diversity is cherished and where all can safely live in a climate of tolerance and harmony. Our presence here today is in keeping with that proud tradition, and we are honored to stand in solidarity with our Muslim community. Thank you.
The Oklahoma Conference for Community and Justice, known as OCCJ, is the only organization in Oklahoma with the singular mission of fighting bias, bigotry, and racism through educational programs and projects